Welcome back inside the WPIAL Insider Show. It is our Week 2 edition, and it's all brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? At Edgar Snyder and Associates, there's never a fee unless they get money for you. Call 1-800-94-EDGAR today for a free consultation. That's 1-800-94-EDGAR. And we welcome you inside. Back alongside the gentleman that need no introduction, but I give them one every week anyway. From the Pittsburgh Union Progress, Mr. Brad Everett, who is now like 3 weeks on Instagram and already might pass Carlo and followers.
He's cooking on IG.
Man,
oh, yeah.
I'm up to about 135
There
followers.
we go.
Watch
Follow.
out.
But what is it again, the handle, Brad?
I think I'm at Brad Everett.
Yeah, I think it's just Brad.
412?
Yeah, I don't
Something
even think there's a
412.
No, I think it's just Brad
I think it's
Everett.
just
Oh.
Brad Everett. There might be a number at the end of
Okay.
that. Maybe
All
like
right.
4. Yeah, I have no idea. But
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is the WPIAL Insider, Carlo Zofko.
Great to be back, gentlemen.
I am just Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along in another week. First week in the books, albeit there was only like 6 teams that didn't play in week 0. Now everybody has a game under their belt, and we react to what was the first full week of games in week 1 and look ahead to what is week 2. And, you know, I feel like, guys, this part of the season already, you're like, once we get through this, you're about a quarter of the way in already,
Yeah.
and it starts going downhill pretty quickly after you get past week 2, I think.
Yeah, I mean, about 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about mid-season awards.
Right.
And it's like, goodness, we just kicked off last week.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, it flies along really quickly. We'll be talking about the playoff picture and mid-season awards and week 2 this season. Although some people refer to it as week 3, like the people that don't like the week 0 thing out there. But
Hey, college football has a week 0 too now. So
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
really does. It really
they
does.
do.
And I love that Hawaii is always involved. They always get like an extra game for whatever reason.
yeah, and next year Pitt's going to be involved, or is that 2027? 2027 they play Wisconsin or playing over in Ireland. I think that's 2027. So yeah, they'll be a part of week 0 that year.
that'll
Little
be
fun fact, it was supposed to be Pitt, Tennessee in 2022 going
I remember
in
you
Ireland.
telling me that. That's
Yeah.
right.
But
yeah.
but the backyard brawl was scheduled right after, and I mean, you have to be a psychopath to play the week after Ireland. Like all the stats say, you're gonna get creamed. Kansas State almost got upset by North Dakota.
You're right. That's right.
Iowa State did take the week off, but yeah, it was like, well, we're not doing it if we're playing West Virginia, and then West Virginia gets bumped up to the first week. And we had an FCS game after Ireland. So, I mean, we just passed on a free trip to Ireland. So, not happy about that.
No, I could see why. you wouldn't.
Still some regrets there.
Well,
Of course, it was my decision.
of course, naturally, yes. Yeah, all roads lead to Carlo.
Right.
Both at the WPIAL Insider and the University of Pittsburgh.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
Yeah, he's the reason they won the ACC. If you're wondering.
Rings in the box right there.
All right, there they are. There. Just saying, there's the trophy. It's real. We're going to go into our headlines here inside the Blast Off Cleaning Equipment Studios, and of course, furnished by our friends at Home Team Collections. And we have featured one of 2 teams in 6A that are still undefeated.
North
And I think
Allegheny.
the North Allegheny Tigers 2-0, and I mentioned
Hempfield.
those Hanfield Spartans are the other team. But I think that kind of leads us into one of our top headlines of Pittsburgh Central Catholic taking care of Pine Richland in the game of the year to this point anyway.
And you want to talk about high school football being back. The atmosphere, the liveliness. There were celebs at the game. DeMar Hamlin, Cal Adamitis came out. They were on the sideline.
Our alumni.
Yeah, but
They're
but
alumni.
But current professional athletes on the field, it's a
Yeah,
cool,
that's
it's a
pretty
cool
neat.
thing. The student sections going back and
Yes.
forth. I think Pine Richland student section brought their own speaker to do like the Zombie Nation music and
Okay.
stuff like that. I mean, it was electric from kickoff to kickoff. And by the way, back-to-back kickoff returns
about
to
that?
start the game.
Man.
I mean, Central Catholic took the air right out of the stadium. I mean, the people were going nuts, and the Pine fans were like, "Wow, what the hell happened there?" And then they kick it right back off to Khalil Taylor. He makes a couple of guys miss, and he goes.
What a way
right
to
back.
introduce himself to the Pine Richland fans.
First touch.
First touch
goes
of
right
his
there.
Pine Richland career. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
So I mean, even the principals on the sideline, there was a Pine Richland couple players. There was a roughing the punter, and I think 3 guys just murdered the Central Catholic punter. If there was ever a roughing the punter, this was it. I mean, they got him good. And the Pine Richland principals on the sideline yelling at them, "Be smarter than that." And it's like, if a principal is gonna say something to a current player on the field, I think that is the perfect thing to say. Hey, be smarter than that. I mean, it was just perfect. Both communities totally bought in. It was absolutely perfect. So kudos to Central Catholic and Pine Richland for reigniting the
CMU
fire.
sets a pretty nice scene there too, doesn't it?
It does. That was my first time there for a game, and that's a beautiful stadium, great venue there. They can hold, I think, 3,000 or 4,000. I think someone had said.
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of the coolest things I thought was the parking garage right there is attached to the stadium.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I parked in the garage and I took 15 steps, and all of a sudden you walk through a door and you're actually there in the concourse.
Yeah.
And there's vendors there and everything. I thought that was really neat. But what a game! What fireworks to begin that game with Chris Black and Khalil Taylor. Talked to Ryan Lahmeyer after the game. He had said he saw something like that when he played in college, but he never coached at a game like that. Had ever been anything like that. But saw the Central Catholic cheerleaders for the first time. That wasn't just a myth.
Yeah,
to
that
actually
was for
see
real.
them in person. That was cool.
And Coach Lahmeyer was not happy with our picks, by the way. He let Mr. Insider know about it.
No, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of Central kids in that game.
There were not many people happy with my picks at all.
There was definitely some Central kids that were not happy with some picks made by us and by some other outlets out there. But like I tell them, you got to pick a winner and a loser.
Yeah.
And I think, like most people, pick Pine Richland going into that game for a reason. But I mean, Central Catholic, they went out and they proved it. Neither team was at their best. I mean, it was a chippy game, a lot of penalties. Super long game. Didn't start till after 7th. I think it ended at 10:30 or so.
Do we know why it was 7:30?
I don't know why.
It might have been CMU
It
related.
was because
they had practice.
They had to practice.
Yep.
It was the only time they could practice the football team.
Because Central's playing a Thursday night game at 8:00.
Right.
Because of all of that, they've really had
Yeah.
some scheduling issues trying to get home games.
Yeah.
And finding places and times and all of that.
I mean, they just need to. Maybe when they make their renovations down there on the shore where the Riverhounds play, maybe that can eventually be a future
That's a
home
good
of
point.
Central
I mean,
Catholic,
they did that when they opened Highmark
they did
Stadium
it,
in
yeah.
2013. Had a lot of games at 13 and 14 at Highmark. But yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they go across the river again.
Yeah, Central won the game 34-20. First half was kind of back and forth. In the second half, all of a sudden, Central just dominated.
Pine kind of controlled the game the first half.
yeah,
it was
it was-
very surprising.
Yeah.
The momentum swung Central and never went back.
But isn't that kind of Central's MO throughout the years of they never in those close games run away with games. They're just slow, methodical. They beat you up in the trenches.
Yes.
And then they just take the will out of you almost.
And I will say this, because going into the game, I thought Central Catholic, on paper, first time in a long time, didn't match up skill-wise to Pine Richland. Going through pre-game warm-ups, we were on the KDK radio, Paul Alexander and I, and he said, "You're kind of looking funny. What are your thoughts?" And I said, this Pine team, that although they are good, I don't know how much depth they have. I mean, there was a lot of freshmen and sophomores on that roster, and a lot of freshmen and sophomores that probably need to hit the weight room, as all freshmen and sophomores do. And, I had made the statement that if they go undefeated and win the states, they're probably going to be the best team in the last 10 years. And I walked those remarks back on the radio, because after seeing them, it's like they have some big dudes. There's no doubt about it. Have some playmakers. No doubt about it. I just don't know how deep they are to go all the way. And 5A's looking really strong again.
Yeah.
Upper St. Clair and Peters, they're looking for real. So,
And how tested is Pine going to be after this? Because look at
Agreed.
what their conference right now is not looking too
no,
hot.
not hot at all.
Even less
Not
hot than
at
it did
all.
a year ago.
Yeah, not hot at all. So it's going to be interesting in 5A. I think things are going to be there's going to be a lot of twists and turns this season. But I think Pine being the clear-cut number one, I don't see it right now. I thought that's how it would be after seeing them in person. They impressed, but I thought it was going to be dominating. And they lost by 14.
You guys got to see a great game. I not so much. That was
One-sided.
a blowout there by Peters Township. Boy, do they look really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and obviously you got to measure it against the opponent. And keeping in mind, McKeesport not only didn't have Keemon Spell, but they also didn't have two of their offensive linemen. And that really – but I think Matt Miller was doing the right thing. Keemon, he got injured on Tuesday at practice.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Sprained ankle. End up holding him out on Wednesday. They tried to let him go on Thursday. He wasn't able to be himself, and they said, wait a second, this is a non-conference game. We have TJ this week.
That's a great point.
And I think
non-conference, not even your classification.
Right.
Not even your classification.
So I think Matt Miller and McKeesport, keeping in mind, they were rolling in to conference play at Ophir at this point in the season last year. So I think they're getting smart about it. And
Matt Miller couldn't have been happy. Come on, Spell tweeted he was not playing.
No, and probably by evidence to the fact that Come On deleted
the tweet.
Put that tweet down.
Well,
right.
I sent a message to Coach Miller like, "Hey, is that for real?" And just no response. And
Yes.
he's normally very good with responding. So I'm like,
Right.
he's probably a little bit upset.
And I saw Come On coming off the field during pregame, and he was in street clothes. And I said, "How you feeling?" He said, "I'll be back next week." Like it was real simple and easy, and it just
a tweaked ankle.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where if this was a playoff game, he probably would have played.
Right.
But
yeah. I mean, there was some talk on Twitter I saw of like people claiming he was ducking Peters Township, and I don't buy that at all. They were just doing the smart thing. I mean,
I thought it
he
was
got
a
a
smoke
championship
screen.
to win. They got
I thought that could be a
I
possibility.
thought
That
it
could
was
be
a smoke screen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe throw Peters for a loop a
Right.
little bit.
Yeah, and TJ Plack, I talked to him about it because the news had broke right because we ended up talking right after that, and I said, "So about this," and he cut me off and he goes, "I saw it. We still think he's going to play." So,
Which now between the Peters offense and defense, what kind of impressed you more?
I think from the offensive side of things, Shanafelt and the tight end position, obviously he's being recruited at the next level to play defensively at the linebacker position. But boy, did he, and Lucas Rost also on the
Rost is a playmaker.
Like, they got dudes
Yeah.
all over the field.
I think Shanafelt is wrong. I think he's a tight end. I really do. I'm with Pitt there. I think he's a tight end.
No
he
kidding.
moves so well.
Yes.
And Reston, my goodness.
Oh,
the pick six.
Stud.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
absolute stud.
that was almost the backbreaker of the game because McKeesport hung in there for a while, for a quarter, and like everybody started kind of looking around. Kind of almost felt like the Pitt Duquesne game for a while there. It was like, we know what's supposed to happen here, but why hasn't it started happening yet? And I mean, it eventually did, but certainly still expect McKeesport to be every bit contending in 4A, and I just think that just goes to show you just how darn good 5A is. And,
No doubt.
man, that Peters team is going to be a tough out. And I don't know if you feel this way or Brad, if you feel like, did what you saw from Pine last week run your comments back? Are we penning in Peters and Pine like we were at the beginning of the season, or has Upper St. Clair done enough? We just saw Bethel took a step back last week losing to Mars. So, like, in that landscape, are you still putting those two in? If you had to pick two teams, are you putting those two in there?
I would probably still put those same two still in there, but I kind of probably moved Peters up a little bit. I think we were kind of
The gap's closer than what we thought.
Yes.
the gap's closer. I think
No doubt.
I think a lot of it had to do with the Khalil Taylor transfer, and we see that they're adding this big time kid to their team. So it's like, wow, they not only are they good, they're going to be really, really good.
It's like Pine Richland did great in free agency.
Right.
And Khalil's not playing in the playoffs is
Right,
another one. I mean,
That's a great point.
That's a curveball. And I'll tell you what, a game that I'm going to keep my eye on is this Saturday, Central Catholic Woodland Hills. If Woodland Hills, all they have to do is hang around with Central.
Yes.
And that will convince me enough like, hey, this could be Woody High's year as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
this threw me for a loop. I will say this because I had Pine winning by 14. This threw me for a loop.
You just brought it up, so we'll go there. Central Catholic playing Woodland Hills at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tom Benson Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Just got a chance to be there just a few weekends ago for the Women's Football National Championship, doing the game out there. And boy, they have done
They did it up, right?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they have really that campus. I mean, for so long going there, and I was doing stuff back in the Junior World Championship days back in like 2010, 2011. It was just the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the stadium. Yeah. The whole campus area they have more fields, practice fields, indoor fields. There's a Ferris wheel, like there's restaurants.
It's an event type of deal now.
100%. It's going to be a really cool atmosphere, and just such a unique thing of two teams that know each other that are right down the street from each other, going to go to Ohio to play, and obviously with all the history that those two programs have.
Yeah, it's part of I believe there's 3 games overall in the event. I think they're the 3:30 game. There's like a noon and like a 7 game or something. But if you're going to get 2 teams from Western PA, these are 2 of the ones that you're going to want to be right up near there at the top of the list with Woodland Hills and Central. Not only have they sent so many guys on the NFL, they each have a Hall of Famer there, of course, with Dan Marino,
which is
and
pretty
Jason
cool.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Right, that's cool. And like so many of these kids have dreams of not only playing the NFL, some of them already have dreams of being a Hall of Famer one day.
Right.
And to be there and to put eyes on the Hall of Fame and to maybe tour it and you can kind of visualize it a little bit. And I think that's going to be really super cool for these kids. And just to see how many guys from Western PA are in that thing. I was counting, I think 14 as I lose my paper here on the desk, 14 guys from the WPIAL City League that are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Joe Namath, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Tony Dorsett, Mike Ditka, Darrell Rivas, Jimbo Covert, Ty Law, Jason Taylor, Russ Grimm, George Blanda, Joe Schmidt, Bill George, and Curtis Martin is the Lone City League
and
guy
Gronk will be coming in.
And Gronk will be coming in there soon. Yeah, that'll give Woody High too.
Aaron Donald will be going in.
Aaron Donald will be going in. Yeah. Those are.
You read off those names, and it just popped into my head of, I'm almost surprised it hasn't happened, and who knows, maybe the WPIAL Insider could be the ones to do it, of securing a spot in the city of Pittsburgh that honors the history of Western Pennsylvania high school football, a Hall of Fame of sense. It's almost surprising that does not exist.
Especially with how prideful people are.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, and the list that you named, I mean, that becomes a tourist destination immediately for football fans of all over. Certainly, it would be a big one to jump on prior to the draft and everybody showing up here. But I know the Western Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Athletic Hall of Fame has a Western PA chapter.
Right.
They honor players and contributors and that type of thing. But that's all sports, all encompassing. And to my knowledge, there isn't necessarily a hall dedicated to it.
Yeah, that's a heck of an idea. They should do, and I like what they do at Acroshore too. They've been doing for years now, and kind of honoring the local teams. They have the helmets,
the
up
champions,
there, they honor the champions with photos there of the champions and everything.
Mike Marczynski does a great job with
exactly, yeah.
And they don't have to do that, which is the cool part about it. It is about being rooted in there, and even the Path to the Draft thing has all the high schools, or the days until the countdown of the draft has all the high schools listed as well. So I think that's really cool what the Steelers do there.
Well, last thing, as we are in here, the headlines of as we get ready for the second week of the season, our third show here at the WPIAL Insider, I'll present it to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Was there one other surprise that jumped out at you from this first week of play? Week 1 of play, second week of play. I'm gonna stop saying numbers at some point.
It is mind blowing how this is how we have to do it. But hey, that is what it is. I will say we are getting a weekly award for a big win coming up. But I'll spoil it a little bit. Chartiers Valley upsetting West Allegheny.
Mm-hmm.
First year head coach Steve Spence at Char Valley. I feel like to get a win like that in your first year or two, especially, second game for him.
Yeah.
To get a win like that, first win over West Allegheny in 16 years since Wayne Capers and Christian Kuntz were on the sidelines for
that's back in the
TV.
TJ McConnell days.
Yeah, McConnell might have been walking the hallways. Right. So I think that was really cool for them. My favorite part about it is, the game goes into overtime. West Allegheny scores, kicks the extra point. CV scores and says, we're going for two. We're going for two. So I think that is awesome. Kind of just, hey, here's how our program's going to be. Take it or leave it. And the kids left it all on the field.
The biggest question I have about this game is, what does this say about Chartiers Valley, or does it say more about West Allegheny? Who has Char Valley risen up, or has West Allegheny fallen down?
I think Chartiers Valley's risen up. I think, maybe this coaching change and maybe some talent that they have in there, maybe they're, about ready for a step up right there. I think, West Allegheny, I believe that may have been their first game of the year. So, it was new to them too. They have a new quarterback, actually. Donovan O'Connor is their starting quarterback, son of Ben O'Connor, the West Allegheny basketball coach, had a ton of success there. Looking forward to this West Allegheny team, but this Chartiers Valley team, they might be able to maybe stack some wins up, make some noise.
And I'll tell you what, because I see some things online, as WPIAL Insider, you get the cool part about it is you get all the fans that kind of tweet angrily about their coaches and program, like, oh, this guy can't do this. West Allegheny was tied for first in the Parkway last year, so it's not like this program has just fallen off a cliff. Right. They had a wacky year. I think 2 or 3 games were lightninged out, so they had a weird record last year.
Yep.
But they were tied for first in the Parkway. They beat Montour. They did lose to Aliquid, but they only had 1 loss in that conference. So they made the playoffs last year. So I don't know. I don't think West A has fallen off a cliff like some people are claiming. I think that they're still a solid program. I think it's a nice win for CV, and call a spade a spade. That's what it is. A nice win for Char Valley.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest surprise, aside from that one, is the Mars Planets taking down Bethel Park.
Yeah.
Bethel, what they did offensively, 600 yards of total offense in that first game, and only to be stunted by the Mars defense. And this is the biggest takeaway I have from that game. Mars had 4 turnovers in that game.
And still pulled it off. Wow.
Beat Bethel Park.
Yeah,
And
not easy to do.
no. And how
that
about
defense must have been really good.
Yeah. Planets looking for their first 3-0 start since 2018.
My biggest, I think, was probably Moon over Montour. Not necessarily that they won. I picked Moon to win that game, but 41-13. That was a lot more lopsided than I figured, especially with how good Montour looked the previous week against Central Valley.
Yeah, I poking around some people with Montour, they have an awesome sophomore quarterback, Brandon Bennett, but with a sophomore QB, you're going to have some growing pains. And I think last week he had some growing pains. Maybe was trying to do a little bit too much when things kind of really started to go rocky, just kind of the snowball effect a little bit. So, no, I think Montour will be okay. But yeah, that was an eyebrow raiser for sure.
An interesting stat from that game, we talked about how Moon was changing their offense up and going from a run-heavy approach to pass. Well, this game against Montour, 46 rushes, 7 passes. Andrew Cross only attempted 7 passes in the game.
Yeah.
They have a kid named Antoine Arnett. He ran for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looks like he's going to be the bell cow back there.
Moon has like 7 running backs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand
and like 15 defensive backs.
I don't get it, but hey.
And you know what? I also think that could be something from Coach Ryan Lynn that they don't want to put much on tape before they jump into conference play.
Could be.
Segment, what's hot and what's not, we'll tell you what we're feeling has something cooking on the stove and what is headed for the freezer. I'll kick us off.
Kick us off. You always dish it off. You kick it off.
I'm going to kick us off. What's hot? The Allegheny Six in the Western Hills Conference. Those 2 conferences are the only 2 conferences in the WPIAL that have 4 2-0 teams.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Just 2 conferences. Those conferences, we have well documented how good the Allegheny Six is in this show, but we'll continue to talk about it because it's true. Upper St. Clair, Peters Township, Moon, and South Fayette, all 4 2-0, outscoring teams 288-96 this season. And for the Western Hills side of things, Avonworth North Catholic, and these are the 2 you're not expecting, Hopewell and Quaker Valley.
Hopewell, big
Vikings
wins.
Yeah, big win
and
for
the
Vikings.
Quakers. QV 2-0, first time since they won the state championship. I'm
Yeah,
half
I
tempted
would
to
think
say.
so.
And Ricky Gus, the Gus bus,
Yeah. And Mr. Vecchio coming out of the PA
Yeah,
booth to win the
yeah.
state title there.
That was a great story.
Now, it still needs to be a movie. Still needs to be a movie.
The 2-0 WPIAL championship.
Yes.
That was it against Aliquippa.
Yeah.
Lowest
2-0.
scoring game in Acrisure Stadium history. Now, the Western Conference, by the way, outscoring teams, this is nuts. 333 to 77. Those four teams outscoring everybody else. So that's what's hot for me.
Yeah, that's a nice hot. That's a nice hot. But I'm gonna one up you here, Matt.
Oh, as you normally do.
Yeah, that's great. The Allegheny 6 and the Western Hills. Give me the Tri-County South.
Oh my goodness!
I love me some
They're
Tri-County South.
scorching hot.
They are.
Cal over Cornell, maybe the
That's a big
biggest
one. Yes.
surprise
That's a nice
of the
non-conference
Whippy.
How
win.
did that not get mentioned?
Yeah, well, I was,
You were hanging on to it.
hanging on.
Hanging on to it.
Cal over Cornell. How about Jefferson Morgan over Waynesburg Central? That was a big win. That's 1A playing 2A, and Waynesburg, pretty good 2A team at that. Carmichael's over Stowe. Once again, another 2A team, but Stowe is on some rough times. And Avella over Carlington. So the Tri-County South, they've had probably some much-deserved flack the last 10 years. They haven't won a playoff game and whatever. The last couple years, they've slowly been getting better and better. Cal and Jefferson Morgan,
Yes.
those
Cal
are
beating
two.
Cornell is a legit.
That's a
Oh,
strong-
yeah.
That's
And
a really nice win.
It was by 2 touchdowns. It
Yeah.
wasn't like it was, pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Landon Abercrombie and Cal, hats off to you guys. And I'm looking forward to the final week of the season. Maybe your fan vote will be Cal versus Jefferson Morgan.
Hey,
I mean,
that'd be fun.
hey,
That was like an incredible finish last year, if I remember right. It came down to and it was for the conference title too. And I think like someone had a 2-point conversion. Jeff Morgan at the very end.
Deacon DeHoet.
Yes.
Actually, it's pronounced Deacon DeHoet.
Okay,
I
DeHoet.
found out. Over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 different ways. He had a 2-point conversion, bad snap. He picked it up. He jumped over a cornerback to
Wow.
get in for the 2. I mean, some of these highlights, you're like, this kid is for real, So there were a lot of coaches, mind you, a lot of coaches that are now coaching on an 0-2 team saying, Mr. Insider doesn't always talk about this kid from Jefferson Morgan, ranked in the top 10 receivers. I'm doubling down. He might be top 5, maybe top 3. He's unbelievable.
9 touchdowns so far for the Deacon.
Wow.
John Woodward is another guy that's had a big
John
season.
Woodward.
He's been running the ball. I think this Jeff Morgan team could be the best Tri-County South team we've seen.
Do you think they could make the semifinals? I know 1A is really good.
It's so tough
I
for
would have
them.
had Cornell in the realm of the semifinals,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they beat them pretty
And
handedly.
I think there's a lot of question marks about Canavan still.
Yes.
So, I don't think it's as strong. Those other teams, Fort Cherry's going to be there.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
But
Clarendon probably going to be there. Yeah.
right, Clarendon going to be there.
And we talk about
Yeah,
those.
so you're
Eastern-
fighting for 2 spots.
Yeah, in
Right.
the Eastern the Eastern Conference we talked about last week, their struggles in week 0, a lot of losses there that first week. Laurel's actually a team not in that conference, but they're looking pretty strong in single A.
Yeah,
that's
a
so
good
far,
point.
too, so that's one.
Single A might be the funnest
Single A,
class.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not double A.
It's not double A.
Yeah.
It's not double
What's
A.
your hot, Brad?
My hot are sophomore quarterbacks. Quarterbacks in the class of 2028, I guess that would be.
Yeah.
But there are some good ones out there, and they've been showing out early on this year. We talked a little bit about one of them last week. James Boo Armstrong from Hopewell has Hopewell off to their best start in about a decade. 30 of 39 so far, 447 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also 195 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. I mean, he's been one of the better players in all the WPIAL so far. He's been exciting. Of course, Owen Herrick, that was my first time seeing him last week. Just as you said, I mean, that ball flicks off his wrist
pops.
really
Oh,
nice,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah. He had a great game.
He got some zip on that ball. He's been fun to watch. Brandon Bennett from Montour was another one. Guy that popped up on the radar, I'm looking forward to seeing, Javon Johnston from Shadyside Academy. He accounted for 8 touchdowns in a win against Borough last week, 4 passing and 4 rushing in that game. Converted wide receiver. I like him a lot because he's a big-time athlete. He won a national title actually over the summer at New Balance Nationals for track and field.
Really?
He won the freshman division in the triple jump.
Wow.
So, in the entire country, he was the winner there, and he
Impressive.
finished in the top 3 in the long jump and triple jump at WPIALs as a freshman. So he's a kid that's good. I mean, he has some nice, not a very big kid. I think he's only about 5'9", 160.
I was going to
or
ask
so.
about that.
So I mean, I don't know if quarterback would be his position long term, but kind of a fun athlete, and he's been doing some good things. And these sophomore quarterbacks, and I'm sure there's a lot I'm not, not even mentioning, but that's a good class for the QB position.
You know who loves evaluating players off of the triple jump and they're one of the better evaluating teams in the whole country is Penn State.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you do a triple jump, sometimes they'll make you go to camp and do a triple jump, and kids are like, I've never done this before. But that's a telltale sign of a very, very strong athlete. So interesting to know.
That's funny. That's funny too. You mentioned that because one of the recruits in this last class was Xavier Thomas, and he was one of the top jumpers in the WIPY as far as triple jump and long jump, and he was one of the better guys. So yeah, that matches up.
Brad, do you want to circle right back and give us your knot?
Sure. My knot is the Gateway Gators. Rough start for them. The Gators not showing much bite these days. They fell to 0-2 following a 41-0 loss to North Allegheny. They had started the season 41-14 loss to State College. And this is a team, they dropped their last 4 games of last season too. So they're 0-6 in their last 6 games. Actually, the 3rd year in a row they've started 0-2, went 3-7 last year, 5-6 the year before. What's interesting is going through these records is almost all, like so many of these losses are non-conference. They've just been awful in non-conference play. Like going back last 3 years, 7-4 in conference games, 1-11 in non-conference games.
That's nuts.
So
and they don't have the easiest slate either.
And granted, granted, they're playing a lot of 6A teams,
but still your gateway.
But still their gateway. And Don Hall does a tremendous job over. He's won a ton over there. And but I don't know if it's maybe the talent's down a little bit over there right now, and but they're got some struggles over there right now. But they got Plum this week. Maybe they can right the ship.
That's a good point, Brad. And sometimes public schools you do go on a dry spell with talent. So I don't think he's coaching any differently per se. But yeah, it's weird times for the Gateway Gators, no doubt about it.
My knot is 2 teams. The Valley Vikings and the Rochester Rams. They're the only 2 teams in the WPIAL, in the City League, and in the Independent that have yet to score this season. Valley has been outscored 75-0 and Rochester 45-0. So while some teams start the season 0-2, the 0 means even more in these 2 teams' departments. Valley hasn't really. Valley just seems like they're just one of those teams, and I'm speaking out of turn of this. They just lose kids. Like they have kids that go and grow up in that area, and then they get plucked out of that
all
area.
The time. I'm told public schools don't recruit, but there's a lot of school districts say, well, our best players are going this one. Well, I thought there was no recruiting in public schools. Very odd.
And ironically, I think you could say very much the same thing about Rochester and how
100%.
Neighboring communities
100%.
are a lot better. And
Rochester's so rich in history. I mean, it's almost sad to see. It's almost like they almost need a co-op.
Yeah,
maybe. They're the co-op, though, is the problem. That would be sad.
And I almost feel like the teams that are surrounding them, the one that makes the most logical amount of sense is Central Valley taking them in, and maybe Central Valley becoming more like a Moon, like a 4A borderline 5A team.
Right.
That
which
obviously
would be cool.
It would be, and I mean, darn, look at what happened when Center and Monaca merged. It worked out.
It worked out pretty damn well.
But
and CV was 4A for a couple years there, right?
Well, when they were well,
they were 3A during the 4 classes,
right?
But I'm saying 2 years ago, I think they were 4A because I think they dropped to 3A.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but those 2 teams are my knot.
Oh, I got 2 knots too.
All right,
the first one.
Is it a double negative?
Is it cold in here, Brad?
Not.
No, not.
Whata that?
Is it?
It's just not. There's no AC down here.
In his picks.
Whoa, taking shots already.
We have some stats. Mr. Fargo was 5-6 last week. That was the first losing week in WPIAL Insider Show podcast history.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No,
I went back and looked to double check.
No
Yes, because normally
go back and look.
Normally we only pick 10 games. We picked 11 because we added Fox Chapel and Baldwin. Nobody went 4-6 in a week. The worst week was 5-5.
How far back did you look?
Oh, all the podcasts. Oh yeah.
In the first year too?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah. Matt Fargo.
I think
Mr. King of the picks of the 2-time worst showing we've seen.
Where's her trophy?
Mr. Two-Time.
Where's your title?
I'm going to kick him when he's down.
Oh,
We finally got him.
He did it again. He's doing it again.
This is amazing because we actually have a pick segment, as you know, later on in this show, and Carlo could not wait for that. Like he had to say this now
Because
kick him when he's
ironically,
down.
he
Kick
didn't
him when
even
he's
win
down.
the FaceTime to say this during the pick segment. That would be Bradley.
Kick him when he's down.
That's
Mr.
wild.
Two-time champ.
It's
I'm
not
sick.
cold in here, by the
I'm
way.
s-
There's no AC.
I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him winning and winning and winning. We finally got him.
I know there is visual evidence of Carlo doing the exact same thing at about the exact same week, 2 years in a row, only for him to not just finish not behind me, but last. The last 2
We're
years.
going to take our little wins.
But that's
and
fine.
this
The
is a
Cleveland
win. This
Browns
is a
hate
win.
on the Pittsburgh Steelers all the time. That doesn't mean
See.
that they don't own them.
See, the hope here is these two, they're in each other's heads, and I'm just going to, like, lay in the weeds over
Lay in the
here
weeds and just take
just
I'll
kinda
be
do my
fine
thing
if
and
you
win a
win it,
title,
Brad.
yeah.
I will
Okay,
be.
thank you,
But
thank
I
you.
know he won't. Because
He will gloat. There will be some gloating.
he'll have Nor winning a WPIAL or something.
My other knot. Penn Hills. I don't know what's going on in Penn Hills
boy.
right now. 0-2 right now, and I think that they have NA this week. So hopefully the Indians turn it around. But yeah, we have oh yeah.
He has it written down.
Oh yeah. I
That's
went back
great.
and did stats. Oh yeah. We're coming this year.
That's all right.
We are coming, Carlo.
You-
we are, man. We're coming.
You are
We're
quite
coming, big
literally,
dog.
despite the worst record in history, apparently, he's 2 games ahead of me. 2.
Insurmountable lead, the way we see it. Insurmountable.
That's fine. I like it that way. I like it that way. And what was that? What's that famous quote? And then I took it personally. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it was Michael Jordan
Yeah.
from his
30 for 30.
the documentary.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You
And
need
I
to try
took-
to, like,
and I took
Photoshop.
that personally.
I took it.
Need to Photoshop's Matt's head on, like, Jordan's face or something like that. I think that'd be good, yeah.
All right.
Geez.
Everybody's not? We got them all in?
We got 'em all in.
Oh, good. All right. We're up against a break. Need to take care of some things here at commercial break. When we come back, Carlo and Tom Poljak will announce the Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh Player and Coach of the Week. That is coming up next. And, of course, don't forget that the player gets a custom jersey framed by our friends at Home Team Collections. And stay tuned. There's a lot more to come on this edition of the WPIAL Insider Show, including our picks. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the WPIAL Insider Show presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. It's time for one of our favorite segments, the segment that, I was talking to some people, Tom, and I said, this brings a lot of credibility to the show. We're out and about. We're giving awards. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. This is our friend Tom Poljak, friend of the show, reoccurring guest of Black Bear Fundraising and in Vertical Raise, the player of the week and the coach of the week.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with the coach of the week. There were a couple different candidates here. I'm looking at Ryan Lahmeyer taking down Pine Richland, my number 1 team. Ryan Lahmeyer at Central Catholic. They were my number 2 team, so it's not like I was totally off on them. But Ryan Lahmeyer considered very close. Eric Kasparowicz going up, beating Bethel Park, a 4A team beating a Bethel Park really solid
I was a little
5A
shocked
team.
by that.
I
mean,
was
Bethel's,
shocked by the
Bethel's pretty
score.
solid. Absolutely.
I was shocked by the score, but I think this one was almost a layup here. And it's first-year head coach at Chartiers Valley, Coach Steve Spence. For the first time in 16 years, Chartiers Valley takes down West Allegheny, and they do it in overtime. West Allegheny scores, gets the extra point. Chartiers Valley goes down, scores, goes for 2 in the win, and they get it. You got to love that about Coach.
That's just total drama right there. And I mean, you couldn't ask for a better scenario for a first-year coach. I mean, and what that's so needed for that school to get a
Yep.
big win. I'm sure the fan base and the community is just thrilled.
To build a program you know, especially your first year or two, you need a win that excites the community. Like, holy smokes, like this guy is different. And I think
Well, I
Coach
did ask
Spence
him
certainly got that.
when I went out there and interviewed him today. I did ask him about that, so that was it was good.
Speaking of that interview, let's play that right there. Our man Tom Poljak was out in Chartiers Valley giving Coach Spence his award.
Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Race Pittsburgh's proud to present once again the WPIAL Insider Player and Coach of the Week Award. We're coming to you every single week, and this week we are at Chartiers Valley, actually AKA Char Valley High School, and special congratulations to our Coach of the Week, Coach Steve. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I know you when you gave us the image of you have a couple special people you're featuring on that picture.
Oh, definitely. Number one, I'm limited amount of pictures of myself on the field here at Char Valley, and number two, my wife, Krista, my son, Derek. Obviously a special moment, first win, big win, wanted to share it with them, and my son would be disappointed if he wasn't featured in some way. So
Fantastic. Well, it's been 16 long years before you had a victory against West Allegheny. You did it in dramatic fashion, 2-point conversion in overtime. Tell us a little bit about how exciting that was.
well, you know what? Obviously a great team, West A, very well coached, extremely physical. We knew we would have to bring it to be in the game. We fell behind. We fought our way back in, and just kind of felt like we had one play to win it, and we preach to these guys. We want to be in attack mode. That's the style that we want to play. So there was no question we wanted to play for the win.
Absolutely. And a little less than 20 years experience on the college level. You were at John Carroll originally, and then 15 years at W&J, correct?
Correct.
How did you bring your college element and kind of bring it to the high school level? How's that transition been?
There's definitely there's similarities and there's a lot of differences. I definitely I learn new things at the high school level every day. I didn't know until it was the start of overtime that the ball was put at the 10-yard line. I thought it was at the 25.
There you go.
But new things you learn every day, and my time spent, especially at W&J, winning program under who I think is one of the best coaches in the country, and Mike Sirianni.
Sure.
Definitely a place where I learned to coach football. So.
Yeah, I mean, how exciting for not only yourself and your coaches, the players, the whole community with that big, huge win. Another thing too, Coach, when normally when a high school coach comes in for the first time, you have different elements going on, rebuilding, what have you. It seemed like you came into a good foundation here. Your skilled players, both sides of the ball, you seem to be pretty balanced. Tell us a little bit what you have going on right now.
Definitely, that's something that was intriguing about coming here to coach. Was the players that are here, the talent that was here, guys like Julius Best, Tayshawn Lewis, Damian Holloway, Jack Zarnecki. Those guys have done a great job. Mike Lawrence, just to name some of our skill guys. Unfortunately, Luke Miranda, our quarterback, he's been out to start the season. Owen Weegraff stepped in, played a great game for us at quarterback. And the guys up front too, I think we had a good foundation with our offensive line with Destin Drelick and Tristan Mayo, Joel Burkle, Dalen King, Big Moose, Anthony Musessin. So it was again a lot of leaders on both sides of the ball, skill guys. Guys up front, Justin Terhune, I mentioned another one. Again, those guys, we knew we'd be relying on those guys. They've done a great job for us.
That's fantastic. Once again, Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Race Pittsburgh is proud to present the WPIAL Insider Show Player and this week Coach of the Week. And we're proud to bring that to you every single week, you football fanatics out there. And Coach, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Stay healthy and have a great season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, thanks for getting out there. What were the vibes like in Chartiers Valley as you were out there today?
We know it was a little bit like last week at McKeesport. Coach is like, "What are you doing?" And he saw the award for Kimon. Same thing this week, because I guess they were like, "Hey, some guy on the sideline wants to talk to you," and I'm like, don't bother him during practice. And he's walking over, and he saw it, and then I guess he put 2 and 2 together, and then he lit up. He's like, "Hey man, just give me about 10 minutes. We'll go over on the other side of the field," and just a great vibe. You could tell he's 100% player coach. I mean,
Yeah.
he's all in.
And he comes from the college world at W&J for a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like when I was talking to him, I said, like, how's the transition going from college to high school? And he said some things are catching on, other things not so much. And so it was, you could tell that him bringing that college experience is going to do wonders for that high school team. I really believe that.
Oh yeah. And I hear he was poking some fun at himself in overtime. He was unaware of the rules a little bit.
I know. He said, I'm still adjusting. So he didn't realize you had to go from the 10-yard line.
He thought much easier from the 25 in college. Just at the 10, much easier. So,
he very easily could have taken the high road and saying, but that showed to me he was a little humble because he just said, hey, I'm learning constantly.
Just makes you a great guy, you know what I mean? It just shows you can poke fun at yourself. You're not taking yourself too seriously, and you're all about winning with the kids.
In a true professional.
Yep.
Very complimentary of West Allegheny. Just really, you could tell he's done this before because he just was very professional in the way he described his team and their team. And very, giving compliments and everything. Yeah. It was nice to see that.
And I hear that there's a moose over in Chartiers Valley that we need to be aware of. Anthony Moosanian, right?
Anytime you give a shout out to your players and one of them you're referring to as Moose, you're guaranteed to have a winning season.
You better be running behind that moose. I know that. You better be running
animal,
behind.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Moose, rhino, any of them.
And the other thing too with Coach, when he was given, because that's what we do. We asked for the teams to give us an image, and he insisted on his wife Krista and his son Derek being in that.
And that just goes to show you. That just goes to show you. Like, no, this is about more than just me. He had his family in the photo, and let me tell you, the frame looked amazing. The picture looked amazing. So we appreciate you taking the time to go out there to present it to him.
And a special thanks for Home Team Collections for producing that product. And
and Home Team's
great partners of ours.
You can't beat it. And then moving on, going to the player of the week, and this one was tough. We're not going to show it just yet.
All right, I won't do it yet.
A couple of the names around that were close. You're talking Tyler Eber, Thomas Jefferson, 200+ yards, 4 touchdowns. Deacon DeHuitt from Jefferson Morgan, 300 all-purpose and 4 touchdowns. But the winner of this week's Player of the Week goes to Leechburg's Timmy Andrassi. Timmy, 310 yards, 7 total touchdowns. Talk about stuff in the stat sheet. 7 touchdowns in a high school game is insanity. You hear about it in Little League every once in a while.
My goodness.
7?
Well, Timmy, I'll tell you this. My partner in crime north of Pittsburgh for Vertical Raise is Vince DeVivo. Vinny's going to be bringing that out to you. Congratulations. And once again, thanks to Home Team Collections for producing that for us. And well-deserved. Anytime you're throwing out numbers like that, 310 yards.
I mean, just bonkers. Bonkers. 7. I can't get over the 7 touchdowns. It was almost like, even if he was like Jerome Bettis, where he's just getting the ball at the 1, to get into the end zone 7 times. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It really is.
31 total carries, so we're not talking 50
he's
plus
not
carries.
getting 50, 60 carries. I mean, a touchdown every 4 carries. You can't beat that.
That's 2 weeks in a row. That's what's has me pumped up because it's so exciting seeing what these young men are doing and putting up crazy numbers already. I mean, who knows what's going to happen next week?
No doubt. And now, do we have an update on Peters Township? Did they finish their fundraiser yet?
They have.
You were very excited last week.
Yeah, well, we kept raising the bar. We started at 25,000 as a goal, and we crushed that, and then we raised it to 30. Then I got a little nervous. I'm like, all right, let's bump it up to 35. See how they do.
What was
grand total?
What was it?
Peters Township Football with Vertical Raise donation platform. The company that I represent in Western Pennsylvania, and I do it south, and Vince DeVivo does it north. $36,137 was raised.
That's
monster numbers.
Remarkable. And you wonder why things are how they are in Peters Township right now. It's situations like this where they can find funds and build a winning football team.
It is so true. If you have a program that you never have to worry about funds, or if you have a special project or you need something, I mean, here you go. My goodness, it's just we're so proud. TJ Plack and his incredible student athletes that did this, and like I mentioned, it's the technology we have with vertical raise and combine it with a great group of kids and a tremendous
You
coach.
can do some special things.
That's a good recipe for success right there.
And it is fundraising season, so let Tom know or let Vince DeVivo know. We are so thankful for both of you helping us out here on the podcast. We're gonna have a grand old year. That's gonna be a weekly recurring segment, right, Tom?
I know a couple people said you guys got good chemistry, and you're like, all right, let's take this to a next level.
That's right.
And we're happy, and seeing the results or the looks on these players and coaches' faces when we give them the awards.
Can't beat it.
It's fantastic.
Can't beat it.
We're excited. We're excited to be a small part of your successful show.
Well, we do appreciate all the support, and to the players and coaches out there, hey, keep dominating on Friday nights. We're gonna be looking high and low from Leechburg to North Allegheny. We can get it all. So
we need to get a defensive player going too.
honestly, but that can be arranged. No problem.
There
that
you
can
go.
be arranged. Thanks again to Tom and Vinny. We'll be right back with the WPIAL Insider Show right after this.
Some moments on the field go beyond the game. They shape who we become. At Home Team Collections, we honor those moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Because these moments aren't just memories, they're a legacy worth preserving. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
Welcome back inside the WPIAL Insider Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. And congratulations to our player and coach of the week, Mr. Andrassi, Coach Spence. Well done.
Great job, fellas.
Good stuff. And thanks to our friends at Black Bear Fundraising and Home Team Collections for hooking them up with some great stuff. Now we're about to hook up in the latest edition of the WIPYs, our weekly awards, where we make up an award title and hand it out virtually. Don't expect anything in the mail. And we'll
500 Shroot Bucks.
Right. I imagine WPIAL Insider got some Bitcoin laying around somewhere.
That's right.
And Brad, you want to lead us off with your award winner in this week of the WIPYs?
My award's going to be the Next Man Up Award, and it's going to go to Dawson Wolf, who's a quarterback at Southmoreland. He's next man up because he took over for Anthony Smith. You know, we talked a lot about Anthony Smith and the transfer. You know, another top young sophomore quarterback. Tried to transfer to Seton LaSalle, was ruled ineligible for the season. Now he's actually at Fairmont, West Virginia. He's going to be playing down there. He's making his debut this week against the Polar Bears. They are the Polar Bears.
Oh, they are the Polar Bears.
Fairmont. They're Fairmont Polar Bears. Apparently, they opened their season Friday, so it'll be interesting to see what type of role he has on that team this year. But Southmoreland, they've moved on, and they've got on to Dawson Wolf, and he's off to a great start. Not only is he putting up numbers, but Southmoreland 2-0. 2-0 the Scotties.
Very nice.
He accounted for 5 touchdowns. The Scotties?
The Scotties.
There you go.
That's our first. We
Yeah.
didn't
First
have any
one
the
of the
first
year.
First one of the year.
How did we
First
go
one of
2
the
weeks
year.
without it? I mean, we're gonna have to pick it up. We're gonna have, it's gonna have to have maybe 2 additional
Sorry.
mentions maybe later in this show. Gonna have to bring up Southmoreland or who's our other Scotties? Southmoreland and
Union?
Union Scotties. That would be the other one. But
You knew that. Huh?
I was all over that.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
great
Brad.
game. Great game from Mr. Wolf, though. He was 8 of 14, 116 yards and 4 touchdowns, all in the first half. Also ran for 31 and a touchdown, 6 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns for 2 games. So,
Nice.
what is it in the water at Southmoreland? All of a sudden, they're producing these quarterbacks left and right. But Dawson Wolf, great job, and Hope to see you keep up the great work. I will warn you, my winner last week was the Mr. Do-It-All Award, and that was Ben McHenry from Quaker Valley, and he was injured last week after I gave him the award.
It's like the Madden
so
curse.
hopefully this does not become a curse or anything like that. Dawson, please get through the game all right on Friday. If you don't, I'm going to feel really bad. So good luck to you.
Oh, man. My award is the Golden Heart Award, and that will go to Hempfield's quarterback, Dom Dietrich. As a junior, Dom missed the season opener against North Hills because he was recovering from a rare heart condition. And then just in late July, lost his father at just 41 years old, tragically passed away. And Dom decided to change his jersey number from 11 to 18 to honor his dad, who was a star at Jeanette and Bethany College. And then Hempfield has had really a great start to the season.
Yeah,
They're 2-0. He passes for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns in their week 0 win. He also added 56 yards rushing to that. And last week, he goes 10 for 17 for 138, a touchdown, added in another 47 in a win over Franklin Regional. And Dietrich, his father, TJ, was an assistant coach for the Penn Trafford freshman football team. So our thoughts and prayers, obviously, with that family. But Dom Dietrich, winner of the Golden Heart Award for, you talk about a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid going through anything like this.
Oh, no doubt.
It's
And
tough
to
for an
bounce
adult
back
to go
how
through.
He has, yeah.
And Hempfield is one of 2 teams undefeated in 6A right now.
Very good award, Matt. Very good
Dom
award.
Dietrich,
That's
Golden Heart Award.
Yeah, great job, man. Keep up the great work to you, too.
My WIPY, the Best Beaver Award. And this was a big game between Southside Beaver and Western Beaver. The first game under the lights at Rich Needball Field. Western Beaver. For the first win under the lights. If you guys didn't see the lights, there's purple in them and stuff. They look really good.
What's the award called
The
again?
Best Beaver Award.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Well, Western Beaver can defend this Beaver Award. 9-12 against Beaver Falls. So they're not out of the woods yet. This Best Beaver Award is alive and well.
Busy Beaver. That's still around. Like
Maybe Busy Beaver's probably the better award.
Busy Beaver. Busy Beaver Award. Oh my.
Oh, boy. That made me quick.
I love the Whippy Insider
Oh,
show.
my God. That made me having 5 wins and picks so worth it right there. Oh, my goodness.
I guess not saying that award aloud beforehand.
It sounded better then. Yeah.
It's better on paper. Here I am trying to show Western Beaver some love.
That was the first game under the lights.
It was the
Yeah,
first game
yes.
under lights. Purple lights too. Very cool.
Very
And I always got to mention when Western Beaver is mentioned, got to represent Lake Park.
Oh
Yes,
Leopards.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Leopards co-op with the Golden Beavers
Yeah.
there, but
Uh-huh.
they're sneaky good.
Yes.
They are sneaky good. 2-0, I believe,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, congratulations to all of our winners of the WIPY Awards this week. Hopefully the Golden Beavers can...
You two are sickos. You two are sickos.
There is not a soul that wasn't thinking. Never mind.
I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the fact we held it together for as long as we did, I thought that was impressive.
Absolutely.
I mean, like we let you get a couple words in at
Yeah,
least.
and then you had to ask for confirmation.
It went right over my head. I had no idea what you guys were laughing at.
Oh goodness.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to regroup. And when we come back, it's everybody's favorite time. It's time for the pick segment. Stick around on this edition of the WPIAL Insider Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. We'll be right back.
You spend your life on the field, in the gym, or on the court. You know what it means to be part of a team, to push for a goal, and to chase a win. What if you could take that same drive and turn it into a high-paying career? BMAC Logistics is looking for people just like you for their Beaver and North Shore Pittsburgh office locations. BMAC is a top 100 freight brokerage in the U.S., and they know what the best athletes make to make the best sales professionals. Why? Because you're already wired for success. You're competitive, you know how to work with a team, and you're not afraid of rolling up your sleeves and putting in that hard work to get the ultimate reward. At BMAC Logistics, you'll join a high-energy team as an inside sales representative. It doesn't matter if you're fresh out of high school, college, or already have some experience. BMAC Logistics will give you the training and the support you need to succeed. If you have that natural hunger to win, you could be earning a 6-figure salary within the first 15 to 18 months. Ready to take your competitive spirit to the next game, to the next rewarding career? Join the swarm at BMAC Logistics and apply today. Thanks for BMAC Logistics for sponsoring the WPIAL Insider Show.
Welcome back inside the WPIAL Insider Show as we gear you up for week number 2 in the WPIAL here in 2025. Back with Brad Everett, Carlos Zofko, Matt Fargo with you here from the Blast Off Cleaning Equipment Studios, and all presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates and Home Team Collections. Looking great as always. Make sure you give them a ring, especially before senior night time. That's busy season. For our friends over there at Home Team Collection. Busy season for me because it's all business from here on out. For our pick segment, do we want to review the records?
Absolutely, we want to review the records.
I figured you might.
Oh, yeah.
Should we have the guy that won the week?
Maybe. What about
Share
the
the
guy
records?
that's currently winning the season?
No, we're not worried about that.
All right, so the picks from last week.
Did you win the ACC in week 2?
No, we built. We build and build and build.
Well, did you have a loss in that season?
A couple.
Weird how that
A
works.
couple bad ones, too.
Yeah, that's
A couple bad weeks.
Yeah. Weird.
Well, third place last week was Mr. Fargo, 5-6. And then we had Carlo in second place at 7-4,
Very
and
respectable.
in first place was Brad Everett at 8-3.
And it was a
2
wacky-
islands.
It was a
Two
wacky
islands.
It was, yeah. That was my best week of the Well, we've only had 2 weeks of picks, but that was my best week of the year. And yeah, I mean, we had an extra game too. That extra game, Baldwin, didn't work out well for the Fox Chapel with a nice win there. Lopsided win
Thankfully,
over
we
Baldwin.
did pick that one.
Yeah,
It would have
that
been
was-
4-6.
Would have been much. Yeah, would have been much worse.
All right, here we go. We'll start it off. Pittsburgh Central Catholic and Woodland Hills talked about this game earlier on in the program at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Canton, Ohio, where the pros are enshrined, who will write their history on Saturday.
Give me the Vikes. I've picked against them twice now. I don't think I'll pick against them the rest of the season. I would like to see Woodland Hills keep it close. I don't think it will. I kind of called my shot last week. Sure, when I said it, Come On Spell was supposed to play and then he didn't play, but I said I like PT by 21-28. I kind of like Central the same way here. 21-28. Woodland Hills needs to be on their A game. No penalties before or after the snap. That's really the key here, and no turnovers. But I like the Vikes here by a couple touchdowns.
Did this game last year as our Steelers showcase game, and it got out of hand pretty quickly. It also gave us the play of the year with that crazy Central scoops up a fumble, returns it to the end zone, and linebacker dropped the ball before it crossed, and it got picked up and ran back the other way for a Woodland Hills touchdown. There could be some wacky plays, but despite all that, Central Catholic's going to win this football game. Give me the Vikes.
Yeah, Carlo, I love your point just about, like Woodland Hills, they need to play a clean game. I think that's one of the most, because, you're playing a team that's, they are more talented than Woodland Hills. Not that that's anything against Woodland Hills. Just Central Catholic, as we know, they're just loaded with, dudes that are going to be playing Power 4 football. But, so in a game like that, you have to keep the flags to a minimum. I'm not sure what Woodland Hills was this past week, but that first week it was pretty bad with the number of penalties that they have. So if they can play a clean game, I think they can keep it maybe a 2-score game. But
And the specials have to show. Remember last year, the special teams,
Yes.
Central scored like 3 touchdowns off of the special teams.
It was very special for them. Scoop Smith he returned a punt for a touchdown last week, so he's gonna, Scoop's gonna have to put on. He's gonna have to work some magic in this game, but I don't think it's gonna be enough though. I think Central gets it done.
Moon is hosting Penn Trafford Warriors and Tigers off there of University Boulevard. We mentioned on this program last week that Moon's getting a new stands press box next year. This game last year, Penn Trafford won on the road, close game, 7-0. I believe that game was for the Warriors. This time, Moon's scoring, and Moon's going to score a lot. Give me the Tigers and a runaway. I think Penn Trafford.
They're flirting with some losses.
Yes, they are,
Could
and they're going to
easily
get
be 0-2.
Yeah.
Right
yes, and they're going to get their first loss. Give me the Tigers at home.
Yeah, I think two of the more underrated coaches in the WPIAL, with John Ruane at Penn Trafford and Ryan Lynn at Moon, they both do fantastic jobs. And two programs, they kind of live off being physical football teams. And then, like Penn Trafford, thinking about some of the teams they've had, Cade Yakimelli, his younger brother Cody Yakimelli, scored a touchdown last week for Penn Trafford. But I think Moon, just too much talent on that team this year. As Ryan Lynn said, they got a lot of dudes on that team. They were impressive last week, and I think they'll be impressive this week too.
Wow, I thought I might be on an island here if I picked Moon. Yeah, I'm going Moon with you, boys. I agree with everything you guys said.
Convenient. Thomas Jefferson is at McKeesport. These two teams met in the WPIAL 4A championship a season ago. That game belonged to the Jaguars 28-0. And when they played earlier on in this season a year ago, that game was a thriller, an overtime thriller that TJ battled back from, believe, 21 down
At half, yeah.
and came
It
back
might have been
to
28.
It might have been 28.
Yeah.
They spoiled
Yeah.
the party there for the Tigers. This one should be good, Bradley.
Yes, we were talking about biggest surprises of last week. The biggest surprise was just seeing an update in the TJ game and seeing them down 14-0 at Central Valley at home. I was like, whoa, what is happening here? This is a major shakeup if this ends up happening.
I had a totally different reaction. I said, it's early.
Yeah.
That's what Paul Alexander did on the air, because I was Brad's reaction. I said, wow, this is – because remember, the kickoff was 7:30 at Central Catholic.
Yeah.
So, we
We're
were
seeing
getting
the
some
scores,
early
right.
scores, and I said, wow, this is major. And Paul said, yeah, give Chirpek a minute. And then
I don't think Central scored again. did
no.
they?
Yeah, it was
So
40-something straight.
Yeah, this is another game. Turnovers played a big role in that WPIAL championship game last year when TJ beat McKeesport. Will McKeesport be able to keep those turnovers down? How will Keemon Spell? Is he 100%? How will that go? I just think TJ a little bit better on the lines possibly there. And they may have found their quarterback. I think they're going to go with a sophomore. It looks like they've had a sophomore and senior competing there. So, but I like TJ on the road, kind of playing with some heavy hearts this week too. They lost one of their former players. So I think TJ, I think they'll rally around that a little bit. And I think they'll go to McKeesport and get a big road win.
I'm right there with you, Brad. I mean, as long as Thomas Jefferson has Tyler Eber, I'm all aboard the Jag Express. So give me the Jags.
The over-under on Eber's carries this week, what would you put it at?
35.
35. Might still take the over.
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, honestly, it
as
might
crazy
be
as that
too
sounds,
low.
might
Yeah.
take the over.
I think the question mark in this game is how healthy is Keemon Spell?
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be the question
Yeah.
people are asking. And because we don't really know the answer, give me Thomas Jefferson. Until McKeesport beats TJ, I think I'm going to roll with TJ until that happens. So Jags, we sweep again. So that is a good strategy for Carlo, is if he picks with me the rest of the year,
I might do it. I might do it.
he would win,
I
right?
might do it.
Yeah.
Avonworth and Aliquippa, the Lopes go to Heinz Field to see the Quips. This one an interesting one. 3A versus 4A. Avonworth played right with Aliquippa last year
We're
in
beating
this
them
game.
until that lightning delay.
Right. I'll let the insider lead this one off.
I checked Aliquippa here, but I also circled Avonworth. The game is at Aliquippa. That is such a psychological factor. It's so hard to pick against Avonworth because Carson Bellinger is playing very well, their quarterback. But give me the Quips. Give me the Quips. I can't go against the Quips at Heinz Field. And we're actually doing that game on KDKA radio, so it should be fun. But it's not easy.
Yeah, I was at that game at Avonworth last year, and Avonworth just punched them in the mouth early in that game. I think it was a 2-score lead, and then they had a big, crazy weather that night, and the games being postponed and delayed all around. and thought that maybe, okay, Aliquippa is going to regroup during this long weather delay. And then we came out of the weather delay, and Avonworth went right down the field, scored again. And I'm like, holy cow. But Aliquippa eventually found themselves. And it was funny during that game. I remember early on in that game, first quarter, Avonworth jumps out to a lead. Avonworth student section, overrated. And I was like, oh boy,
Yeah,
that's not, you don't do that against Aliquippa.
You wait
I
until
mean,
there's triple zeros on that clock.
It may
You
sound
did
like
No doubt.
Just saying.
so
That's what you did,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
today.
So it didn't work out for Avonworth in the long run. And I think, this game being at Aliquippa, this will be Mike Warfield's first game back here as coach here in his second stint. So they'll be fired up over there. There's that mystique of Aliquippa. Not that Avonworth's going to be scared of that by any means, but Aliquippa at home, they're going to.
It's tough to go in there and beat
It is.
them.
Yeah, the fact that the Quip's back at home, Mike Warfield, pomp and circumstance, obviously there, but Avonworth isn't going to be intimidated by the mantra of Aliquippa, and I think this is a real push and pull game of. Does the Aliquippa home mystique, does that hold it? Because I remember it wasn't all that long ago, 4 or 5 years ago, did a game, Central Valley Aliquippa was the biggest blowout in the history of the pit.
Yeah,
Central Valley
yeah.
came in and just
Roaring,
dominated.
yep.
And people are looking around like they had never seen anything like it before. Not saying that this game is going to be that, but the Avonworth Antelopes, I'm going with the Lopes to win at
Big
Heinz
Island
Field.
pick. I'm going to flip my pick, actually.
He's going with the Lopes too.
No. I'm staying Quip.
I like the Lopes here. I just something about this team, championship pedigree. Duke John Core does not still, how I don't know, doesn't get enough credit. I think Aliquippa is going to be good, but I think they're going to take some time. And I also think while they looked good last week against Bell Vernon, I don't think Bell Vernon is going to be.
Yeah, Bell Vernon
very
might be
good.
going through some growing pains this year.
I think they are. I think new coach, new system, all of that going down there in the burnt grass, new burnt grass. It's just going to be time. Growing plains down there. All right, Laurel Highlands, the Mustangs take on the Southmoreland Scotties.
There we go. We're up to 2. I love it.
Brad, you're up.
Yeah, this is
How you like this one?
Yeah, this is an odd game to have on here. I don't know who put this one on here, but this is yeah.
Tell us about it, Brad, please.
both teams off to 2-0 starts. Now, like for Laurel Highlands, they've been down for a little bit here since they had that great run, of course, with Rodney Gallagher and that team was electric, but down a little bit now. But 2 wins early on, Uniontown and Ambridge, not exactly heavyweights by any means. Southmoreland also 2-0. We talked about Dawson Wolf before. He seems to be playing pretty well. They also have another big-time sophomore. Jackson Mickens is on that team, and he's been playing. He has a few Division I offers. So I think Southmoreland overall probably a more talented team. They're a team I could see eventually being a playoff team this year. Laurel Highlands, great to get off to the great start there. Rich Colazar does an awesome job, but I like the Scotties at home.
I think I'm going to pick the Scotties for the reason I get to say Scotties.
Yes.
Give me the Scotties.
This game is interesting. Southmoreland started hot last year, kind of seeing it the same way. We'll see how it goes in conference play with them. That's going to be the question.
Yeah.
But give me the Southmoreland. They did the same thing last year. 3-0.
what?
Yeah.
Give you the what?
What's that?
The what? Who you were picking?
The Scotties, of
Okay.
course. Yes,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
of course.
All right. Not as good, but it was decent. Freeport, the
Yellow Jackets.
nice, take on the Quaker Valley.
Quakers.
Yes,
of
they
course.
do. That
The
could be
Union
a fun.
Scotties, of
That'd
course.
you're gonna have to be doing some research now because that's a whole new segment. Freeport and Quaker Valley. Brad, you're gonna have to tell us more about this Freeport team because Quaker Valley we know is 2-0. How are the Yellow Jackets checking in at this point in the season?
Freeport, I believe, is 2-0 as well. I do not have it listed on my paper, but I'm guessing that's why I picked this game, is because they were another 2-0 team out there. But I like this Freeport team. I don't know if it was Matt or Carl. I don't know which one of you said, but it was in our first show this year. You had given some props to Freeport as being a team
This guy.
to maybe watch. That was
I've
you
been
down
hot
there.
on Freeport.
And I'm starting to get a little warm on them too, a little bit. Quarterback Drew Ross, he's putting up some numbers. Famous Amos Glenn at running back. He's off to a fabulous start as well. And they were a quarterfinalist in Class 3A last year.
they
Brought
were.
a lot of guys
Yes,
back.
they
So
were.
I'm starting to think maybe this
They
Freeport
come on
team,
the-
maybe
come on the bandwagon.
maybe this Freeport team, and then Quaker Valley too. They may not have my man Ben McHenry. I think he may be. I don't know what his status is. He was injured last week, so I think that could be big. But give me the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Brad. You
Yep.
hit the nail right on the head. Give me the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets as well. All right, Bishop Cannabis is at Steel Valley. Crusaders, Ironmen in Munhall.
Revenge game.
The Rod Still Bowl.
Yeah, Rod Steel Bull.
The
Revenge
Rod
game.
Steel Bowl, it is. It is, of course, former coach of Steel Valley, led them to the WPIAL and PIAA state championship just a few years ago.
The Mercy Boys.
Yeah, the Mercy Boys, they invoked the Mercy roll on every single opponent all the way to and including the state championship. And now he's the head coach of Bishop Cannabis. So, boy, this has some intrigue to it, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Give me the Ironman. I don't think I can go against Duran Barksdale here. Although Bishop Canavan, I thought they might be able to upset Seton LaSalle last week. They jumped off hot 7-0. Seton kind of settled in and figured it out to win by, I think, 14. But I don't think that's a knock on Canavan, but I still like Steel Valley just a little bit more. Give me the Ironman.
I thought Still Valley was impressive, beating Wash High 21-6 like they did
Yeah.
last week. I thought Wash High might have a shot in that game, but Still Valley took it to him. I'm hearing the Still Valley defense is really legit. They did give up 20-some points to Westinghouse in that opener, but they were pretty bad. I mean, bad isn't good. They were really good last week against Wash High. So looking forward to seeing how they do here. Canavan badly needs a win, 0-2. They blew a big lead in their opener and then lost to 1 to Seton last week. But I think Mr. Barksdale, I think he gets it done at home there, and not the best homecoming for Rod Still, but we'll see.
Not easy.
It's not. It's certainly not to go on an island. Well, I went on 2 islands last week, and that worked out for me. So,
Brad, he has a nice tan. He looks nice
Oh, I
and relaxed
do.
off of his
The
island picks.
South Park reached out to me after the game. They said, Brad, you're welcome on our island anytime you want. Anytime you want. Yeah.
Laura did not get the same reach out. By the
they
way.
must have forgot that you did not pick them in the championship last year.
You're right. I didn't. I did not pick him. I took Seton LaSalle. Yeah.
Steel Valley. Give me the Ironman too. All right, Neshannock is at Elwood City. The Lancers against the Wolverines. Can Elwood City rewrite the? This is a
Both
writing
with
of the ship.
head-scratching losses. this
Yes,
year.
I mean, I think certainly it's a new era at Neshannock. Dan Bradley over at Elwood City had
And there's
really
another
historic-
Smiley boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, plays quarterback.
Plays
too.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm assuming younger brother.
Yes,
I'm guessing. Yeah.
yes, he
Yeah.
is. Younger brother, actually, Dan Bradley, pretty high on him.
Really?
Says that he could be as good, if not better.
Really?
than
Well, that's
Bro.
pretty good. He
So-
was the conference player of the year.
Yes, yes. So I think the Wolverines have something to play with there, and on the Lancer side of things, it's a new era there, and they're still trying to build through some things, and I think also probably filling in some gaps of players that left from graduation a year ago.
Exactly. These teams. I had a hard time picking this game. I was going back and forth on this. I mean, it was pretty much coming down to flipping a coin. I thought Elwood, they won 21-0 last week against Shenango. They gave up only 2 first downs and 47 total yards in that game. So pretty dominant defensive performance, and they're at home in this game. So I mean, pretty much a coin flip, but I'll take the Wolverines there.
Wow. I'm going to Shannock. I'm going to Lancers.
Oh, I wonder what Matt's going to do. I wonder what Matt's going to do.
You guys know who I'm
He was
picking.
never. He was
It's
never
all
going.
good in Elwood.
Okay, give me the Lancers. I'm with this. I love this pick.
Sounded confident.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
I
island.
love this
Yeah.
All right, next one up on the docket, Jefferson Morgan, the
Rockets.
against the Burgettstown
Blue Devils.
You
Oh,
look
yeah.
good. Okay,
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
for two.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Cooking.
You are
Don't give me Albert Gallatin.
Albert Gallatin.
Colonials?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Good job.
yeah.
Not
I
in
said
the WP
Pirates last week.
You did.
Pirates.
You said Albert Gallatin Pirates.
That's so funny. Albert Gallatin Pirates.
Oh boy. All right, Brad, tell us about this matchup.
We talked a little bit about Jeff Morgan before, and I really think this is a team that could, maybe make a little. I mean, they're not going to win a championship in single A, but possibly quarterfinal, semifinal team. I mean, that may sound crazy coming from the Tri-County South, but I think his team's really good. 99 points here the first two games, so they can definitely score some points. Burgettstown, I believe, 1-1. Tough. I don't know about. I don't know a ton about them at this point, but I like this Jeff Morgan team a lot, and I'm going to take them just about
This guy
anybody
picks
at
the
this
games.
point.
He
You can
doesn't
take Jeff Morgan against just about anybody right now. Give me the Rockets. The Rockets are going to have just a tremendous performance and go on the road and improve to 3-0 this week.
They were undefeated last year, weren't they?
Jeff Morgan?
Yeah.
Maybe in the I think they.
Because I remember they were
regular
undefeated
season.
and got like a 4 or 5 seed in the playoffs, and people were like, they were.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
I think
could be
yeah,
wrong.
Yeah. I think their only loss was in the playoffs, so I think you're right on that.
But I'm also taking the Rockets there, Brad.
Are you?
Love everything you say about that.
Who's the player that we should be watching for at Burgettstown?
For Burgettstown.
Burgettstown. I do have somebody on my prospect list from Burgettstown. He's in the late 100s. I think it's a lineman though. It's tough trying to rattle it off
you
off
mean
the head.
I'm fact checking last year just so
They were undefeated last year.
we're giving they were undefeated last year and they lost to Southside in the first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
What was their
Yeah.
score against Burgettstown when they played them last year?
49-14.
Wow.
49-14.
J-Mo.
Okay. All right.
Picked a good one, Brad.
Hey, how about the memory to remember that they were undefeated? But I knew there was something up because they
That
got
was
a bad.
good.
They
That
got
was
they
good.
had a weird seed as an undefeated team.
that was a good one.
Mhm.
Well done.
Mr. Insider sometimes is on the inside.
Let's go to our game of the week. Mars
Wait,
at
did you
North.
pick JM?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
picking Jefferson Morgan.
Well, I was going to mark you down Burgettstown.
I'm shocking.
I'm sure you would have
Yeah,
too.
I'm shocking. Can't believe we went back and watched every single show. Still don't believe it. Mars, what is happening right now?
How did this happen?
That's pretty
It
good.
looks good. We need like a table cam.
No doubt. No
That name,
doubt.
who is
Table
that?
cam.
Who's that name that's on there?
Little cousin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyways, fourth wall just being broke there.
I just looked up and saw me and went, "Oh my god, this should just be audio only."
That's good. Now we switched. Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mars at North Hills, the Fightin' Planets, who have unblocked Brad,
Yes.
take on the North Hills Indians in a homecoming for Eric Kasparovich, the first time in 10 years that Eric will coach at North Hills. Got to go all the way back to the 2015 season when he coached Pine Richland against the Indians. I think the homecoming will be a good one for Mr. Eric Kasparovich, and the Planets give me Mars. Mars trying to go 3-0 for the first time since 2018. Keeping in mind, Mars started last year 1-4, lost this game, gave up 15 unanswered points to North Hills. They turned the ball over a bunch in the second half, and North Hills ended up coming back from behind to win this game. Of course, Eric will be going up against a former player that he coached coached for in Brody Zangaro, who is the interim coach for the North Hills Indians, while Pat Carey still recovers from his illness. Was handed the keys, and he's another North Hills grad. So you got North Hills grads on
All
both
over the
sides
place.
of the
All over the
sidelines in this one, but I'm going to go with the Planets.
Yeah, Mars kind of an opposite start as they were last season. Because last year, 1-4, like you said, and I think that we'd given them. There was a lot of preseason hype around them last year.
I had them number 5 in the entire WPIAL after week 0.
And then they stumbled. I remember going to that Bethel Park game thinking that was going to be a barn burner, and Bethel Park just took it to them that game. It was like, holy cow! I guess maybe we didn't read this one out too well. But now Mars this year, they played Bethel at Bethel and they beat Bethel.
Yeah.
So
And turned the ball over 4 times. That still blows my mind.
Yeah, and still won despite all that. So yeah, Mars, this might be their year there, and I think this is just like you said. I think this is going to be a good return here, good homecoming for Eric Kasparovich. I think the Planets, the Fighting Planets, who will improve to 3-0 since they unblocked me on
Nice.
on Twitter.
Correlation. There's a
3-0,
correlation.
a coincidence? I think not.
Yep.
Yeah, this North Hills team, very, very interesting. We had them out at the Quest for the Best show last week at KDK Radio. You know, head coach Zangaro on. He was awesome. Quarterback Kelly McCarthy, great player, great kid. You know, Joey Lutz, animal on defense for North Hills. I kind of don't understand the start last year. You know, Mars, this was the second game of their 4-game losing streak. But I just don't think North Hills right now is playing with the confidence they need to be playing. I'm going Mars here. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be last year, come right down to it. But I think EK is going to have revenge on the mind because you know that loss stung last year for sure.
Yep.
So I think they get them back.
You can watch that game on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week on KDK Plus. Myself, Arthur Moats, Susie Cole, that guy at halftime, giving us the top 10 plays of the week. Of course, catch Carlo's coverage on KDK Radio with Avonworth and Aliquippa. He'll get to see his pick be wrong in person.
I'm looking forward to that. It's always nice going to the
It would be the
pit.
second time in as many weeks.
Yeah, it would.
Where are you at, Brad?
I will be over at McKeesport for McKeesport TJ.
Oh, nice.
All right. Oh, that'll be fun, too.
So I won't be following you around this week, Carlo. Yeah, like we're actually going to
Yeah, I was
separate
kinda
places.
felt a
Although I
little
didn't
left
see
out.
you last week. Although I kind of left early.
Yeah,
though.
I was up. Yeah, I was up in the box pretty much.
Oh, you
all
were?
game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't on the
Gotcha.
field much. So yep.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have, except it's now time for FaceTime. Brad Everett,
Take it away, Brad.
lead us out.
So as the weekly winner, I went 8-3 last week, as I stated a little bit earlier. But I'll keep this short and sweet. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the former players that give back. And, you know, we see a lot of them, you know, most coaches are former players, and people work in concession stands or people work in collecting the tickets at the gate, whatever it is. You know, so many people give back, and, you know, so many people, like, they knew what it took for them to get through their football journey, whether it be, you know, getting rides from parents or from friends or from relatives or whatever, and, you know, meals or whatever it be. And it's cool seeing that. It's especially cool seeing the NFL guys give back, guys that have reached the highest level and they haven't forgot about, you know, where they came from. And we talked about Tyler Boyd earlier this year and just about him giving back to Clareton. Now the stadium's named after him, which, I mean, as a player, I'm sure that has to just mean the world to go on to do what you wanted to do, and then to be able to give back, have your high school stadium named after you. Like, how cool is that? But then even going to the Central game last week, you know, you had talked about Cal Adamitis being there. DeMar Hamlin was there, you know, just chatting it up with the Central Catholic student section. And, you know, like DeMar Hamlin, like, this is a major, like, we all know his story and, you know, about how well known he is now. So it's cool to see someone like that at a game. Or even Jason Pinkston. Jason Pinkston was there. He's an assistant coach at Central Catholic. He's carrying equipment before the game, you know, walking through and everything like that. And this is a guy that was an All-American. He spent time in the NFL, and you know, he's there just giving back to what gave him, you know, football has given him so much, and now he's giving back. And I just love to see that. And it's just one of the cool things about what makes Western Pennsylvania high school football so special.
Upper St. Clair student section just texted me and
no.
said, I can't believe he can talk that much.
Crickets. That's right. Crickets from last year.
That was a classic
Oh, my
video.
goodness. Yes.
Classic
But
video.
great stuff, Brad. You know, you really brought us back from Best Beaver earlier in the show.
Yes. Unbelievable. Highlight of the year so far. Best Beaver.
He's already blowing the snap
guys
count.
outta here.
He's blowing the snap count already. Thanks so much for watching. Best of luck to all the teams. Stay healthy. And until next week, thanks for watching the WPIAL Insider Show. And always keep your receipts. Good night, everybody.
WPIAL fans, get fired up. The original Big Shot Bob's in Avalon is the Wing King with over 300 flavors, made fresh every single time. Don't settle for less. Taste the best wings in the burg. Order now at ogbsb.com. That's ogbsb.com. The original Big Shot Bob's, where Pittsburgh wins with wings. Tell them WPIAL Insider sent ya.